hot. Did I not grab that? It is right there. Okay. Well, what is going on? Yo, what's up? Okay, there we go. What's up? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. What's up, dude? Debating on whether playing video games today on coffee time or not. I wasn't sure who all was up or what I even had downloaded. I'm holding up pretty good. Appreciate you asking. Hopefully everybody in chat is as well. Oh, you've been up since 5:30? Oh, dude. Already loaded in for the show and I'm working today. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad that, was it just like nerves that you woke up early, or were you having to get shit done? Got my foo-foo caramel macchiato. Mix all this around. Damn it. Shake it, baby. Oh my God, my nose is already going. McFoley says, what's up? Like, the real McFoley? Are you serious right now? Oh, damn it, that's why I didn't buy some fucking beer. Yo, that's fucking dope. If he really did that, what's up, man? He is one of the only few wrestlers I did watch and pay attention to. Bro, his daughter's TikTok and he be on sometimes, gold. That man just trying to live his toothless life. I know it wasn't a bit, like, he would have his teeth out with his sweatpants on, just kicking it in his chair. Leave that man alone. Val Venus, nice. Dude, that's really awesome. Well, if Mick is around, what's up, man? Dude, that's some legend shit right there you get to do today, Rage. Seriously, that's cool. I'm not much into wrestling anymore, but that's pretty cool. I don't care who you are, that's pretty cool. When Mick Foley tells you hi, you say hi back. And Val, Jesus, you're living your best life. Yeah. Jake the Snake's coming to your friend's bar? No shit. That's dope, dude. That's fucking cool. Oh shit. Got Bradshaw? No kidding. Quick story. Kyle was on a work trip in Texas, a couple years ago, right? And long story short, he was in the box. He was in the what you call it, like like the private boxes and stuff for like a race for an NHA or whatever it was, funny car race. Anyways, the point is that we're in private room, right? And he's filming, he's doing his stuff, and he's throwing his stuff away. He's like, there was this large man, like with his son, that he ran into twice. One time with the first one was him going to throw his stuff away, and the gentleman was standing there and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir," and moved out of his way. And Kyle was like, "Oh, no big deal." And he threw his stuff away. His buddy came over and was like, "You know who that was?" He's like, "No." He's like, "That's Bill Goldberg. You just ran into Bill Goldberg twice and didn't know who the fuck he was." Bro. Said he was a nice guy. All it was just, "Oh, excuse me, sir," basically, like, and he moved out of his way so Kyle could throw away his Coke can or whatever. But yeah, he was like, I fucking saw Goldberg twice and didn't even realize it. Like, ran into him twice in the same day. That's fucking sweet. Is it Canton? Okay. I'm at the Wrestling Classic Wild Card in my city. No shit. The guy from Creed. Yeah. At least you say Creed and not Nickelback. Jack Roger has blonde hair. I don't have blonde hair. Oh. There's a tear. There's another tear. Oh, I'm gonna need to go blow my nose. And a really bad blonde at that, yeah. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I need to blow my nose now. It cleared everything out. Oh. Oh, much better. much better. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, man. It was really cool this morning. Mom is at home. Mom is at home. She actually might not. No, she's probably up. Sometimes she sleeps in. Dude, this morning, so I'm in this group chat on Facebook. I don't really get on Facebook. I really keep it for this. I'm not kidding. I hardly post. It's a group chat and a bunch of buddies, probably 10, 15 of us from like school and shit. My buddy Mason, first of all, badass soldier. Him and his brother both served our country more than they should have, and I thank him every time I see him in person. But anyways, old good friend. He tagged me this morning in his text, and he was like, "Yo, Eric, your YouTube stuff starting to pop up on my Facebook from Philippines. Hey, what's up?" I was like, "No shit." I was like, "What stupid shit am I doing? You know, whatever." He's like, "It was just some blind reaction, whatever." He's like, "But it's cool to see your success." Like, that's what he said. Like, he's seen me before. He's known I've quit work and stuff because he's asked to come see me when he thought I was still working for Samsung and stuff. But what I'm getting at is, again, by far famous, by far rich in the the limelight or anything. But it was to hear him say those words, to read those words with him saying, it's cool to see your success. Not famous, that succeeding. It's working. That was really cool, man. And I told him, I was like, I appreciate that, dude. And then it followed up with a thing that I was working in gay porn on Xvids, and then it was I love men and all this stuff. So it went to the normal stuff. But for that moment when we were talking, everybody was kind of, talking about it. It was like, I don't toot my own horn for real a lot, other than just for some trolls, but it is cool to have somebody else that that you've kind of grown up with, you've known for 20, 30 years, to be like, hey, man, I'm seeing you kind of pop up everywhere now. This is working, dude. Good for you. If Tommy Lee Jones and Tina from Bob's Burger had a love child. That's good. I like it. That's fucking great. Sleep Token stuff. Yeah, we're waiting for the new album to come out too. I need to put my glasses. See, we were just talking about that whole Chad thing. Like, I guess I can see the funniness with Scott Stapp from Creed, but Nickelback, I don't have blonde hair, like, at all. Like, I don't know how you can, like, even really compare that. I was wondering if they meant Tommy Lee from Motley Crue or not, but I was like, well, Tommy Lee Jones. Because I got told, what was it? Some of the newer ones were, this one was kind of old, but younger Al Pacino. But then one of the newer ones is, young Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know. If you dyed your hair, you become Chad Kroger. Shit. That's funny. That's funny. Dude, Chad Kroger is a fucking chode, but he makes good music. Like, he legit, Kyle and I were actually talking about, he knows the formula. There is an actual formula to make hit music, and he knows it. And one of the things was, there was a couple of different times this happened. One of their kind of more recent ones was, he said something about making a disco song. And they're like, you can't do that. Well, the song She Keeps Me Up is a disco song, and it's a hit. He knows what he's doing, unfortunately, but he's a fucking tool bag. Just Chad. Everybody else apparently in the group is great. Hey, Zoe, what's up? It's like a family reunion in here. Guys, if anybody was on last night's live with Kyle and I, the homie Brad and his wife, Steph, they were on, that's their child. That's Zoe. Look at this photograph. Cheap and gross. That's funny. I like it. I've never heard that compared. That's good. The Nickelback documentary on Matt. Really? Okay. I still want to watch the Pee Wee Herman one with Paul Rubens. Well, apparently I have Ozzy Osbourne shades. They were supposed to be blue light glasses, guys, but they're like Tony Stark style. I've got red, ombre blue, and then like a dark blue. And that's when people were like, you look like a young Ozzy Osbourne. I was like, I do? That wasn't the point. These were supposed to be blue light glasses. These got a bunch of scratches in them. I could do Taxi Driver. Oh, shit. So some De Niro. Talking to me? I don't do De Niro. Ooh, you don't like Billy, huh? I enjoy Billy. Now the thing is that to be fair, I've listened to Nickelback more as a replay on songs than I have Billy, but I do enjoy Billy. I watched the first episode of Pee Wee, but the girlfriend couldn't watch anymore. Really? Dog Day Afternoon, never seen. Man, so here's some movies. So I actually need to record a movie today. Probably going to be Sinners. Love the hair. Thank you. I legit. I brushed it once, put a little bit of my anti-fizz spray, which it kind of isn't even working, but and that's it. She's a lot younger and bored as fuck. Okay, gotcha. Probably what it like young enough to like not really understand the aesthetic or like the like what was going on. Probably like if you don't like, it's not going to make any sense, or you're not going to be interested to know like, oh, that's what that was. Oh shit, that was a runner-up to no. Okay. See again, Nickelback actually. I'm sorry, like it's almost like a guilty pleasure of mine. They make all right. They make good music. Like they make good music. It's just the fact of he's a fucking cockbag. But I kind of it's one of those separating art from reality. Nickelback slaps, but there are some things I have a problem with. One of it, and this all depends on. We don't have to go down this whole conspiracy thing, but if you know about some things in the past over the years about some celebrities and some cults and some things that are kind of hard to debunk that they've tried and it's still there, but like I'm not a huge fan of Tom Hanks anymore. I'm sorry, I'm still gonna watch Forrest Gump. I'm still gonna watch Turner and Hooch. You know what I mean? Like I'm sorry, I shouldn't because of the foul, disgusting, horrific, non-forgivable things he has I'm pretty sure done. But I won't probably ever support anything new. How about that? Like I don't know that I'll ever really support anything new by it. Um it's just it's hard. It's hard, but it's just like with that when it comes to like things like that where I'm like I can separate that. Julia Robertson, Pretty Woman. Chet Hanks. Bro, didn't he try to like rap? His spank off in his basement, yeah. Yep, and now you get reported. Everybody in this everybody right now report this person for hateful speech and terrorism. I'm gonna put child abuse. That way you never get a channel again. So and then I'm gonna report you again. Report promotes terrorism now. Report sexually explicit material. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Keep it going, Snerd. I'll fuck your mama right in front of you. Think I can't find it? I got friends in low places. I'll find your shit right now. If you ain't gay, I'll still make you like it. You'll be screaming daddy all day. Fake reports can't get you banned. Go ahead and report me. Ain't nothing to be reported. You got reported for something you should be reported for. It's just Starbucks. Shit, just hanging out, having coffee. It's the weekend. And everyone's fighting. Let's see here. Morning. My chat stopped for a second. There we go. Clean this out. Get another one packed. Today was just an iced caramel macchiato. Nothing crazy. Your chores aren't done, but breakfast is ready. Hey, Spence, what's up? Yeah, I went with something different today. It's kind of my off day. We're going to be going out like later and getting some food, maybe a drink or two. But as far as like, paying attention to calories and shit like that, I was like, nah. So I was like, well, what sounds good today? So caramel macchiato. And I've learned I don't need the big one. I don't drink it like that. So just getting the grande or whatever, it's more than enough. That shit's like $5, almost $6 anyways, no matter what you get from Starbucks. Like, it does not matter. I've ordered all kinds. It's all the same fucking price. I swear to God, it's all like across the board. $5.98 or $5.96, whatever it is, for every fucking grande. Like, oh shit. Actually, no. Oh, my mommy's money. No. It's your mommy's money because she gives me an allowance every time I fuck her. That's how I can get my Starbies. You know that. You and your 2 subscribers know that. Come on now. She gives out allowances and lollipops. So, sorry, Christopher. Go play your Switch. I'll play your mom's Xbox. You know what this tastes like? Your mom's pussy. Crisp. Oh, I don't hit on your dad anymore. His asshole's blown out. My dick's too big. He like basically told me to take your mom. Like he couldn't handle it. But your mom's got a fucking vagina like the fucking Grand Canyon, dude. It's nice. At least I can fit it all the way without hearing your dad scream. We'll switch up. We'll switch hitter. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Oh, what's up, Christopher? 2 seconds ago, I couldn't shut you up. No, it's sad. Took too long for a comeback. Hidden. Man, I was ready. I've been waiting. Oh, sucks for them. Is what it is. Take too long. Low-key pedo vibes. I bet. Somebody better check this person's fucking hard drive. You know who says that? Pedophiles. So, not only are you going to be reported for child abuse and harassment and bullying, but you're going to have the rest of them report you too. Thanks. Come again. Actually, you can't because, you know. So everybody make sure you report him. Rich, thank you for the 10. I appreciate it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That's good. Time though, it makes my fucking chat stop. There we go. Name it, and that fucking dab, of course. Of course. I'm gonna go blow my nose again. Oh. It'd be real nice if morning weed would stop clearing out my sinuses like that every single fucking morning. Would definitely be nice. Okay. Well, crazy. I do too. Boost your algorithm, number one, when the trolls come in here. But I give them time, and if they don't have a comeback, and again, 2 seconds ago I couldn't shut you up, then I just hide you because you're not worth my time. You're a waste of time at that point. Oh, I love it. I love destroying trolls. I literally got a certificate that I laminated that had my full name on it for being a certified asshole. I got it from my boss. It's a true story. My dad was Tom Petty. Really, his name was Bob, but... Oh, fucking hooker. I want this shake up. Every morning, Lori. Every morning. All right. Should we dab it up again? Yeah, see? It fucking stopped. Damn it. They broke ground on Bucky's. Okay. What's my job? I don't... social media. Um, I have not clocked in for a job like that in almost 2 years. The end of this summer will be like 2 years, I believe. Play some. No, you can't. We can't play copyrighted music. That's why Kyle, my brother, he's made all of this stuff for the background. It wasn't even a trophy. It was like a cert, like what do you call it? Like a degree. It was almost like a diploma. And then I laminated it. It's pretty awesome. I remember the day I got it. He said, he tapped me on the shoulder. I was with my headphones in doing my shit. He's like, I got something for you. And I was like, for me? He presented it to me and I was like, laminating this. He's like, you started laughing. I was like, you think I'm joking? And I did. I went to the local library. I know what I said. Oh, shit. Pretty much just coffee time is just us talking. It can be really anything. The joke is from mental health to buttholes, but it's really just whatever. Normally we kind of pick some kind of subject at some point throughout the live, but hey, Brad, what's up? Like Bo Rat's cousin. I never got into him. I never got into anything that dude did other than I didn't realize he was in Sweeney Todd. He was in Sweeney Todd, and then wasn't he also in Talladega Nights? Most embarrassing moment? Oh, I don't really embarrass easy. So like, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm trying to think like all the way back as a kid and stuff too. Like that's a tough one. I don't really embarrass easy like that. It's all morning therapy session, yeah. Oh, but me and the homie Brad, who was actually in here, we got a lot of stories together. Him and I'd say a handful of other people, but yeah, that's not embarrassing. I got smacked on the head. I got fucking pee-pee tagged. And I went to go check the thing, and it already had a bruise in the head of my dick, and it was purple. And I was like, God damn, dude. He fucking focused. That wasn't embarrassing. That was medically concerning. I don't know how any of us from like the grade we were in to like a year or two ahead and before us, below us, had kids. Because we played tube tag, PP tag, whatever you want to. It had so many names all day in the classrooms and the halls. You got down where how you'd snap and you'd focus on like one nut. You're like, ah, and you would just hit. It got to the point where all of us dudes just knew to walk with your shit. We just walked with our shit in front of our dicks. Like, got caught lacking is what it was. Yeah, ball tag. All of it, dude. Little tube tag. I do not know how any of us have children. Towel to the seam? No, I've never caught that. Probably not about young blood, no. That's like screaming hot. Sack whack, yeah, right. You still have PTSD. I'm 41 and still remember the hallways. You're like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. Like you're late to class. Everybody knows why. You're like, I'm fine. Just ball in my throat. Yeah, around each other, right? Oh God. Hey Jacob, what's up? Yeah, like bro. Oh, I guess here's one. I guess not so much it was like embarrassing for a different way. I don't know how to explain it. This probably would be my quote most embarrassing. Like when I was like my voice was like it was weird. When my voice was changing. I didn't really like in front of my friends and stuff it was fine, but I still tried to like hold it back a little bit, like at home. So I kind of like tried to almost Michael Jackson it. I think was what I was doing. I low key like it was one of my first albums ever bought with my own money was Michael Jackson's History Tour, but it was kind of like this soft, kind of higher octave. But yeah, I guess that might be my quote most embarrassing thing. Other than that, like, no, I don't embarrass these, like the whole purple thing. No, that was more the fact of, dude, you fucking sack tapped me hard in the fucking head of the dick. I got a fucking bruise. I remember we were at Demby's aunt's house. We were watching a SmackDown, or I mean a wrestling pay-per-view, and there was like 15 of us. I want to say it was Hollowell that got me. I think it was. That was also the same night that Mike had to be picked up because we were downstairs in the basement doing stuff and the basement wasn't really that tall and he got excited and when he like jumped up, he smacked his head on one of the beams and he had to like go get like 2 or 3 stitches and his dad had to come pick him up late. And we asked him on Monday, we were like, was your dad mad? Because his dad was one of the like kind of teachers or whatever, like kind of superintendent or something of the school, Mr. Long. And he was kind of a D bag, like strict. And we're like, what did he do? And he's like, I got in the car and he's driving. He's like, and they're horsing around. We're like, we can all hear it. Like, like his dad, it's just that I'm just sitting there holding my head in the driver's seat going to the ER. Like, but that was all the same night. Bro, that shit. Man, but like I said, no, the purple thing, not really embarrassing. It was just more the fact of that. And that now that circle back to the whole thing of what we did in the hallways, and then it makes me think of other shit that would happen, like when Jason Costin and Steve Hess. That was a bloodbath. That was pretty good. That was a good one. He knocked out like 4 of his front teeth. Steve's fucking knuckle was dislocated like back into his palm, like into the back of his hand. What he gets for fucking around. Like, that's what you get. He called somebody's girl. He called Steve's girl. Not a very nice word, not knowing Steve was right behind him. He legit tapped him on the shoulder, and when Carson turned around, he just started going. Just fired off with a right hook. We watched it. We're all standing there in the hallways, just watching it happen, going down the steps, another flight of steps. Yeah, it was tough. That was probably the best fight I ever saw at that school. But the school I graduated from, because I ended up transferring, there was a pretty good one where, dude, I saw him. He's sitting there in class. He was right next to me, and the dude behind him, he was talking. I forget what happened, but it had something to do with like a friend and like a girlfriend and all this stuff. And the buddy next to me, he kept going, just stop talking. And the other dude was just like, no, man, I'm just trying. He's like, stop. He told him like 4 times. Old boy took a deep breath, stood up, turned around, and just started going at him in his desk. Fucking ripping him out. And the teacher standing there going, hey, you can't do that. He didn't do nothing. I was like, God damn. You should have just stopped. Should have just shut up, dude. You could just see it on his face. He kept going, just stop talking. Like, he just kept getting more irritated and more irritated. Poke the bear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, he warned him. He warned him. But either way, that was legit like 20 years ago. It's so weird to think about when, like now, I'll be like, yeah, you know, when I was like 19 or whatever, I'm like, God, that was 22, 20, almost 25 years ago. Hey, morning. Oh, yeah, there we go. Birthquakes? That's good. That's really good. High school was brutal for some kids. I was really nothing. I was kind of an in between. My hometown legit had like cliques, like you saw in the movies. Though it pretty much was, if you were a cheerleader, you didn't date math geeks. You dated a football player, a basketball player, something like that. Like, that's how that went, right? Well, both hometown and where I graduated from, I really kind of didn't do. I played some sports and stuff here and there, but like my clique, if you will, was kind of everybody. I didn't gravitate towards one or the other. But where I graduated from, there was none. Everybody was cool with everybody. But I kind of just kept my head down. I had a few buddies and stuff like that, but then towards my end of my high school my high school years, I worked. Like Brad and I, like we closed even in the school year. So we were out working until 11, 12 o'clock. Like, I was tired in the mornings. I was tired for school. And it just like, I just didn't. So I talked to maybe a handful of people. Hell yeah, Rage. Oh, it's somebody. Yeah, it's Eric. Yep. Got into a lot of fights. Hey, morning. Got you through high school. Music did nice. Used to sell weed to your teachers? That's funny. I had some good teachers in both schools, but I will say the place I graduated from, um, they they were a great school system. That all of the teachers there, they worked with me, they helped me. I still think about a lot of them or all of them to this day, and how grateful I am of what they did to help me graduate on time. Long story short, my credits, like the school I went to was not the greatest. And then when I transferred, my credits were only enough for like a junior. So I technically had another year, but then I was missing something still. So they bent the rule and let me take like journal and newspaper class to take the senior English. That way I could graduate on, on time and all this. Like they went to the superintendent in like the state or something like that to like bend the rules for me. They also knew that I was, over 18 years old, that I didn't have to keep showing up for school. I was not living at home with my mom anymore, like all this stuff. So I worked full time. Like they really cut me some slack. But so like for them, like to just a big thanks. I will never forget them and that school. Yeah, they took really good care of me. And actually, I sold my principal a phone a couple years ago, and he knew who I was underneath the mask. Like he kept going, no, blah blah blah, and then I saw his ID, and I was like, Mr. Sly, and yeah, and so we got it. It was a whole thing. Public schools are a joke, but here's what it is. Well, and the thing is that the plan was I was gonna drop out and just get my GED. Mom was okay with it. We had talked, um, actually talked on the phone with some people, and then a buddy of mine who I hung out with a lot. He transferred from my home school again to the school I went to, because we were all kind of like right there in districts. And I told him I was getting ready to drop out, and he was like, dude, come stay with me at my house. Come to this school for a semester. If you don't like it or whatever, drop out. Like, whatever, do it. I stayed and graduated. He dropped out. So because I had this big talk, and I was like, well, I can do this or I can do this. So I decided, I was like, well, let me do this. And to be honest with you, the girl I was dating went to that school as well. So it was kind of like a win-win, where he was like, you'll get to go to school with her too and all this stuff. So I was like, well, what do I got to lose? And that's what I did. And about a year later, less than 8 months later, he dropped out. So it's just kind of the irony on things. Yeah, school was very different for me, but I'm glad that it's over, but I do remember all the good times. On AI, so yeah, I don't really get into AI music. It's not really my thing. Got so far behind. Got his ass beat, probably. We actually had, check this out. And the more I think about it, it was like I don't know how to think about it. Do you guys remember the whole trench coat thing? So I'm old enough to when that happened in high school, right? Like I was in high school when all of the kind of like the almost like the Columbines and then the trench coat thing. well, I don't really know the first guy that this happened to, but I had another buddy, ironically, his name was Eric, but kind of that type of look in person. And they approached Tim. He was the one, he wore a trench coat every day. Quiet guy, nice guy. They strong armed him into finishing school at home. They just gave him the assignments and he didn't have to come to school anymore. And he was like, why? Like, he didn't, it was one of those where he was kind of like, well, what the fuck, man? What did I do? And it was because of how he looked. And I'm like, look, man, the more you think about it, it's like, you can't do that. But then there was a part of me that was like, I kind of understand. Like, they didn't know what to do. And I'm like, Tim is such a nice guy. But that's the thing, is like, they're like, we don't know what to do. Yeah, he was basically permanently sent home the last, like, however many months of his, like, senior year or something like that. Yeah, Mom, that was like, I was probably like a freshman or a sophomore. Because, like, when all of that, like, the Columbine and stuff happened, I was probably like freshman, sophomore year. And I remember being like, where the fuck's Tim? And Eric told me, he's like, yeah, they like told him to just like stay home. They'll give him his assignments, that they were like afraid of him. I was like, Tim? And it's wild on how long, like, look, again, I understand, still taking precautions and maybe even security and stuff at that point or whatever, okay. But how long the media, news, and all of the things have been directly influencing and scaring people, not for no reason. I don't mean for no reason, but to cause such mass panic and because, like, I'm the same era where it was like Marilyn Manson was to blame for school offings and stuff like that. Like, they should have been more afraid of you. Yeah. Why is it the Tims? Yeah. But it's just like how, like, easily influenced and like all of that was. And I mean, even back then without the Googles and the internets and the cell phones and all of that stuff, it's all you had to go on. No, I've not seen that Dark Side of the Ring. No. It was all, hell yeah, Badger. Yeah, because I remember being freshman champs. It was the 98, 99, I believe, or was it 99, 2000? It was one of them, but yeah. Because I graduated, 01 or 02, I forget. But that, I was in like high school, like that, like, quote, an adult like to remember for the Columbines, the Manson eras, the trench coats, the Unabomber. I think I was in middle school. The 9/11s, all of that. I was in history. Was I in history class? Second period when 9/11 happened, like right at the beginning. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I was in history class. Heelys are the white version of black Air Force Ones. That's tough. And music aiming towards that sleep token. Really? Okay. Yeah, there was a few odd ones. Invest in security companies and companies that make their tech. You're not late. You're right on time. Interesting. I'll have to remember that. Honestly, I've been wanting to either invest, like I actually wanted to invest in weed. Even if I wasn't a smoker, dude, it just keeps going up. But like it's going to be more expensive because it's such a thing now. But I think that's something that will always be there. But that's interesting. So security companies and that make their own tech. You can't judge people for their style. And there was also things that I really think about over the years that Kyle was at home that I didn't understand at the time. And I really hate to say this, but a couple of my friends that ended up just being kind of just low lives. I don't know how else to say it, and I don't mean it like that, but like they just don't succeed. They never hold a job. They fucking drug addicts or just constantly in trouble with the law. And like I would remember going to specific people's homes and it just being like you can have beer, you can hang out on the couch, you can do, and I understand that but like it was just that's what these people did, and they neglected their children almost, where all they did was because they worked 12-hour shifts, they just got belligerently drunk and ignored their children when they got home, or were single moms and were drug addicts themselves and were never home. And it's like when I really got older and put it together of I liked my friends, but I couldn't understand why my friends and I at a certain age stopped kind of growing together. There was a time where I kept telling people, I'm like, look, man, you're at a line where like I just don't cross anymore. You have to come back over here. You want to smoke weed and drink beer, that's fine, but I'm not doing this other shit with you, and I'm not going to hang out with you while you do these things or illegal activities to go to prison, which a lot of them inevitably did. No, man. And when I started to realize that there was a bigger picture, and sometimes mom already saw that because she probably either saw homes or parents or whatever it was, and I wasn't understanding. But at the same time, like I look back, I'm like, damn, dude. If they wonder if they would be a different person today. The answer is yes. Morning. Yeah, people drift. But like it was a real shame. It was a real shame. I had a lot of fun with these people. A lot of fun. And it just, at a certain point, fun didn't cut it anymore. And it was the fact of all I did was, when it was becoming more of an anxiety and stress to hang out with these people because all they wanted to do was shit that was more than likely all you were going to ever do was get in trouble. You were going to get caught because they're stupid. Because they're fucking stupid. For lack of a better term, they're dumb. Have a good one. But I wouldn't take back half the stuff. Point proven. I caught a felony with one of the people. And the other person that was with, like, dude. Because they're dumb. And they do know better. They just make piss poor decisions. And it's like, how do you not see that this is fucking stupid? You know, it's like you are legit like a smart individual and you can't figure this out. Drift apart from a lot of my friends. See, and that's the thing is where they say, statistically speaking, you lose friends every 7 years. I've got a small group of friends. Brad that was in here and Steph are one of them. I hardly ever see them, but they're the only few people that I still actually associate with when I do. I had invest in GameStop. Is that a real thing? I was hearing stupid shit too. I didn't know if it was a joke. Um, but we're like, we have lives, we have kids, we have families, we have jobs. We don't just get to hang out on the weekends like we used to and when we work together. It's the only, like I said, I guess the thing is like them and like Jason, my buddy Nate, are like really the only people I would like actively try to plan something with, I guess, is like a way to say it, like on a regular when if we would. But even at that, it's a lot of times it's nah, man, I got Atlas, or nah, man, you know, I work nights or weekends. Breakfast is 8:30. Yeah, and like shit like that would happen, and that's where now that actually Alex kind of has his own place with his buddy. There is the dad still there at the moment. He's moving out, but it took me a second, then I understood why it would be with adults. And when you're like, "Hey, can we drink here?" and you're like, "Oh, yes." It's like, okay, how far they get? Like you test it. And the couple of times it was happening where, the boys would be over or whatever, there was always somebody that was either I'll have one, I'm going to be the one to take us to the party or whatever. Sometimes it was my son or the person of, nah, man, I'm the smoker. I don't really drink, so I'm driving everybody tonight. I was like, wait, really? You guys are like responsible with this shit? Beer's in the fridge. Like it legit was like that. I wasn't condoning, but it was one of those like I don't see anything because there was one time somebody got a little tipsy but it was fine. Like it wasn't nothing out of control, nobody was puking, and it was just I unclenched a bit. It wasn't like you could just come over here and get tanked every weekend, but it was the fact of understanding that boundary of when I was 19, 20 years old, 18 years old, and asking, or whatever, or a person's parents being like, Mom, will you buy us a bottle? It's just going to be us and playing some cards. Yeah, everybody give me your keys then. Or somebody's the designated driver. Like there was, yeah, freedom about like at a certain age, it was allowed to kind of be a little more open field. Go through distribution, TW, until, okay, all right, morning. Tied their shoes together. But like my buddy Jake, his mom, I called her mom. I hardly ever called her Gina, but she was very loose. Now we also kind of lived, he was the one that said, hey, come here and go to the school with me and live here. But he kind of lived like on the outskirts of our hometown. So like there was barely street lights. I'm serious. So you could be loud, so what I'm saying is that cops weren't really out there. And I don't know, every couple of weeks he would be, Mom, can we get some aftershock was one of our things. But then he also had an older brother, Josh. But she'd be like, fine, and then we get our smokes and whatnot, and that's what we would do. Actually, a lot of times her and or the stepdad would have some with us. We'd play cards, and it would be like me, Jake, and maybe a buddy or two. And that was it. We never threw like elaborate house parties. I think we had one, and we were allowed. But it kept us, well, not really. But what I'm saying is like being able to do things like that and being comfortable enough to bring it to somebody's like an adult's attention, I think gives them security in coming with you in future things or problems or to ask or talk to you about and be open. Didn't associate with people thanks to Facebook, right, Lori? Kind of the same. But it really just it goes to show like Like, I mean, like you start to realize things as you get older that you really didn't understand as a teenager or a kid until you are the adult or parent. And you're like, that's why. Like, duh, I wouldn't want, I don't want, I'm not trying to do that either. No wonder they said no. See, like, I swear we had a cutoff probably about 5-10 years of where the drinking age all jumped to 21 compared to like where you could get certain things or only drink beer at 18. Yeah, I think the biggest thing I did the most was with Aunt Chrissy, Alan, and Jerry, where I would go smoke weed and drink with them. And if, mom knew, she just never said anything, but she also said she knew that when you were with Aunt Chrissy and stuff, you went to their house or their apartment and you stayed. Yeah, we drank some 40 ounces, but we didn't go anywhere. We smoked a couple joints and listened to music and fucking played NCAA fucking on PS1. I could drive at 16. Scott Stab, yeah, I kind of get that a lot. It's weird. I don't see it half of these fucking, like, quote, lookalikes. Commenting on Sun's live stream. Yep, stay put. Or like I said, if they're an actual driver. I know, and Meg, actually, I got an A for this, but we had to do a debate. And mine was, I'm not allowed to drink beer or liquor, but I can go die for my country. Or go to prison. Go to prison for anything. No. And that is, I think the thing is that, I won't get too far into it, but what was his name? Jesse Ventura was on the board about talking about weed and stuff, and when he went to, I think, Vietnam and whatnot, Kyle's lookalike here, and oh, does he? And thank you for the two, man. He said, from all the PTSD and everything, but he said, I was considered an adult to go die for my country and go to war, handed a gun, and told you might not come home. But when I came home, was treated like shit, basically, for what I did. And I can go to prison, but I can't drink a beer or smoke a joint. Make up your mind on what an adult age is. If it's 18, then I should be able to do all the adult things. And that's basically what my argument was. I got an A. I'm not saying that should an 18-year-old necessarily, I don't know. Yes and no. But should they also be handed a fucking AR and said, here, go be a sniper? No. But if they are, then they should be able to go drink Jägermeister with their buddies at a bar and be served. And same with smoking cigarettes and stuff. That's on you. And recreational weed. If you're an adult, that means you're allowed to make adult decisions. And on paper, by law, why do I have to be older to do certain things? But I can be shot in the fucking face, legally, by the fucking Taliban. That you'll just kick me over there for a long time, even if I didn't wanna. You made me go because I was a grown-up, remember? Not an adult with exceptions. 18 and 21 is adulting free trial. Something like, I don't know, like, it just, I'm not saying that should my son be able to go to a bar. Actually, yes, but it also is kind of scary because at 18, 19, like, ooh, you're not really But then again, you're like, well, you're allowed to go shoot somebody and jump out of a fucking helicopter or an airplane. Right. 21 or 18 for all of it. Pick one. And that's basically what Jesse Ventura and I was saying too. But he said it later. I did it. But it just in the fact of pick one. You can't, but there is no, well, see, 16 and pregnant. Yeah. Dude, that show was wild. Or what was it? Something moms or single, I forget. Yeah. It does seem crazy. So that's also where, not just with drinking, but I really try to, with, again, guys, my son and I's interaction is very new, but I kill for a beer. Teen moms, yeah. You know, it's still very new and us getting into it, but it's just the fact that I really try to treat him as a we kind of bypass this father son growing up phase, and I now have to understand and realize that he is an adult. I need to treat him as such. It's a little weird because I wasn't really a part of his development and growing up and rules and adulting and things, but he really got a grasp on it, and I don't know how with where he anyways. But in the fact of like when I did see him have a beer in his hand at his own apartment a couple of days ago, it was still a little like, you're not, whoa, dude, you're at home. This is your place. And then even some other things that were happening with the one dad being there and his son saying stuff, and he didn't say anything. He's 20 years old, 19 years old. You can't, what are you going to do? Ground him? It was just the fact of like, they're being treated like adults. Yeah, they're making some dumb decisions. Who's not? But the fact of just being like, because he's like, do you want to? I'm like, nah, man, I'm not going to be able to stay too long. But it's actually just right down the road. But I was like, no, I'm not going to be here long. But soon, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to probably have to call my mommy or my girl and be like, I need you to come get me because I'm fucking hammered at my son's house. But my brother looks older. So, every once in a while, that I can see that. He's had that said to him before. But it just, I don't know. It just is one of those with treating him that way and looking at him that way as far as like an adult and whatnot. It's very different. And I will, yeah. But no, it just, it's hard. It's hard to kind of, and then now like with my stepsons, like they're teenagers and all this stuff, and like the one is going to be an adult here in a few years, and that's the thing where it's like, okay, how to do this and like actually go through it. But 28, I look 28 and I'm 40 next year. Nice. But like, I don't know. I think, like I said, grown up. So, but I also think that, and I don't mean like garnishing half their paychecks or something, but I think that if the kids are still here when they're 18, that they need to put not like half the mortgage or anything, but you need to give us some money, maybe like $200 or something a month for some kind of like responsibility and bill type thing, and start learning that your paycheck just isn't your paycheck. I think that's the biggest thing is like, speaking of Brad and stuff, like when we were working at Burger King and stuff, he lived at home. Like they had a plan, like they had a 5-year plan actually, like so their parents were okay with it. And I know that he gave some kind of fee and stuff at home too. But Brad was able to have these nice toys and brand new trucks and stuff because, well, most of his paychecks were his. He didn't have an actual mortgage or anything at the time yet, or rent. But a lot of his money was his money. but it eased him into going, well, I've got a credit card now. I pay my parents a little bit of rent, all this. And then Steph and I are going to get our own apartment. So then it started to kind of bleed in. That's what my son's kind of doing. Yeah, no, exactly, Lori. That's why no matter what was happening here, that somebody was careful or the driver. Like I said, there for a long time, there was a buddy that was hanging out that didn't drink at all, and he was always the one that was driving around because he smoked. But God, it's not gonna, nothing's gonna come out. No, they actually do. So I said the respect that they really do have with stuff like that helps me like legit sleep better at night. And the fact, like I said, I know he's at a place now where it's him and his buddy and the dad for like a few more months or something, but um it will be just them. They are going to do things on their own. It's going to be their place. If they're like this in front of an adult and people that they know they can cut loose on, and then some of the stuff he's told me that he does, and so he's not afraid to tell me, um, they're going to be okay, even on their own. I'm glad he's out of the environment he was in. I don't know how bad it truly was, but I know that like with his mom and stuff, and then like the household and things, and there was just it's actually a lot better. Go drink in your own basement. Cool. At least you're not dealing with anything else. So sleep token song, I don't know. Like pretty much all of them. It really is. All right, I'm gonna go try and blow my nose. Fuck it. Yes, I know I can do it here. The thing is, it's a lot grosser right in front of you. And what's also a little odd for me, and I don't like this. Oh, man, saying it out loud a lot of times sounds worse than like I mean it. But like we'll dap each other up when we go to leave, and one of us will say it first. But in the fact of "love you, dude," and like what he said, it's almost like, oh man, like I don't know if I'm supposed to say that in front of his friends. Like I don't. So like it's almost like I almost kind of wait for him to say it, but he's done it enough where it's like I know, and I can. It's just that things like that. I'm still trying to kind of feel out because I don't want to embarrass him, and I don't want to whatever. It's already kind of follow me here in the fact of my dad's a streamer. He does YouTube, so it's like I don't want to be that. I don't even know. Like obnoxious, I guess, in a sense, or like not even the center of attention. It's just that like I kind of try to be reserved, I guess, like when I'm around him, if he's got his friends, if he's got whatever, like I'm really not trying to be anything other than myself, but it's just I don't know certain things yet, and I don't want him also thinking that I don't want to say I love you or whatever. But it's like you really want your dad saying "love you, bro" in front of your girlfriend, or like you know, I don't know. Is that weird? Is that stupid of me to think? Warm, silent but deadly. I know. It's a lot. It's a lot, and it's loud and gross. I don't. I try to be respectful on live with stuff like that, like bodily functions. You'll catch a burp. You'll never, the warm side, like, you'll never hear me fart. You'll never, a burp is about the extent. They are strong today. I've with the boys in 7 years. Right. Well, like, right, and teach them not to. It is, but it's the fact that like he's already been grown. Like like I said, my son will be 20 in October. My daughter will be 6 in October. So like huge gap. But it's the fact of I smother her with love and things and affection and stuff because she's little. I didn't get to do that with my son. Um, and so now it's this like, what's up, bro? Kind of thing, which is fine. It's fine. I also don't, so I sometimes don't want it to be like that in front of him with her and like, I don't know, have him feel some type of way, but he's so smart. Like he is smart. He understands and he really truly does understand the scenario that like he knows she's a kid. But it's just my brain still goes to that. It's like I don't want to be like like I have a favorite. That is true. Like you always tell me you love him, and that is very true. And I know that he had something happen with his one like kind of stepbrother, his now stepdad that he had. I actually know him before him and his mom got together. But Brandon is good people. Brandon unfortunately lost his son a couple years back, probably about five years ago or so, to a car accident, and him and my son had shared a room. So I know that's kind of hard, but I think that's a big reason, probably why he might say like "love you, dude" or something like before I leave, or whatever, and then also kind of maybe the responsibility aspect of like some drinking and driving. I don't know the whole story. I think his son was hit by somebody, not like the other, like his fault type deal. It is a balancing act, yeah. My mom did. I never, this is going to sound odd. I never heard it. Maybe this is where it comes into play with like my stepkids. It's shitty to say, and I'm not blaming it on one person. I only ever heard it from my mom. Never heard it from my dad or stepdad. My stepdad was so I had one like so Mike is now our stepdad, but Kyle's dad, Randy, was my quote stepdad through my formative years, right? Great guy. Love Randy to death. He is a big reason why like my sense of humor, even dry humor, certain things, whatever. He didn't. Um I knew he did. I know he did, and there is no doubt about that. I didn't hear "I love you" from him. It was from mom. Um, I don't tell my stepkids "I love you." I don't know if that's like I don't know how to take that, but I do. It's just that it's so the fact of like I understand what you're saying, but like I grew up with a parent telling me "I love you" all the time. But now it is interesting on like kind of how generations are in a shitty way, like it's soft, so a lot of people are like really into their feelings in a good way, but that's I don't know, and it's just the fact of I really think that it takes the fact of that I didn't hear it from a step parent. Maybe that's a big reason why I don't too. Whole other state, 23 now, I'm 26. I feel more independent and more carefree. Sure. My biggest eye opener was when I went to college. I moved out of state for like a month with a buddy to Missouri, and I hated it. It was bad. We didn't think it through. He stayed, but now he's in prison, and it was like all this stuff. Like I was there like 30 days, came back home on a Greyhound. I couldn't. Like I tried. I tried. It was not it. Going to college was definite, but I argue that I was in a very dark place, and it really, it pulled me under. I was a horrible person. I met somebody that was great. We were horrible for each other. We brought out the worst in each other. We were fueled by alcohol. We fueled each other with alcohol. It was a lot. And I blame college for that, but because I think what it was is that I had somebody good that I was with to be alone and independent. I think the problem was is that I was in such a big city, knowing nobody, going to school, trying to make it and work a job to make money while paying child support, having a brand new child that I wasn't allowed to see because she kept him from me. That I had all of this like darkness just fueling in me. And I held on to it for like 10 years and with this person that I was with. But it was nice to be independent. I didn't have anybody to tell me what to do. The problem was I didn't have anybody to tell me what to do. Hey, what's up? There was this boundary that like I was allowed to cross, you know? Just obviously you just don't do anything illegal, right? So I was over 21. I was legal to drink. I could do like, you know what I mean? Like all of the things. So ultimately was kind of my downfall. But coming back to reality, you know, we do need that structure, and that's where it goes in with like, you know, raising your children and stuff, or like kind of letting them get the knowing that there needs to be structure, balance, routine, and repercussions and things like that. Have to, or else you don't understand. We're a big hugging family. Yeah. Well, right. It's not because of habit, and that's where yeah, and it's the same. It's the same thing with me. Like even with Meg, mine was also more of like, in lack of a better term, beat out of me. I used to say to my significant other, Meg knows I love her. Meg is my end all be all. We don't. Neither one of us. We both had like weird, different styles of communication errors in our last relationships. We hardly even tell each other goodbye when we go to the store. It's not because we hate each other or we're mad at one another. We just kind of slip in and out. And it's one of those where I'm trying to make it a quote habit though for the boys, for Chandler to see. To the fact of, no, you do tell your significant other you love them. All right, hon, I'll be back or whatever, but there's a difference. And the fact of like I said, it's not because of hatred towards one another. It's kind of something neither one of us did because of our past relationships being so shitty towards the end. It's busy here. Oh, I'm sure, man. You've got some legends you're talking with today. But like I was talking last night, I know it's coming soon. Chandler's getting heavy. Like real soon, I'm gonna pick her up for the last time. I argue probably by the end of this summer, I probably won't be able to pick her up anymore. It'll be Snuggles in bed for maybe the next year or two, and then that'll be gone too. Right, rage. It's again like getting back into that habit. I think that again, it's not an excuse, but being in such a dark place for so long, I've only been I've only been coming towards the light, if you will, for about 3 years. Yeah, she gets still cuddles it right. But like seriously, like I'm just now maybe getting to like where the light is getting bright enough for me to like feel comfortable. It takes a while. When you're in a lot of darkness for almost 20 years, it consumes you because it feels good. And the problem with stuff like that is it is addicting. The fact of how powerful I was and and one of my past relationships on just in general, I was the alpha. I was the end all be all. It was the oh, and it felt good. I had power. It was wrong. I don't like it. There was this like legit like I could feel this like darkness in me. Like you can feel it. But it's addicting. And then like it just gets more because then you take another step and like you take another step and then it's like okay, well then that's a norm and then you kind of test this water. And it's like it's hard. I mean, that's I couldn't anymore. And then in my last relationship, it was one of those I rolled over because I didn't want that, and then I got taken advantage of. So now I have this weird thing where like I've got such a guard up about everything that I went from one extreme to the other. Like there it is. I used to with her when she fell asleep. One day she stopped and never did it again. Yeah. I know it's gonna hurt. I'll probably do it up, but I think I'm gonna do. We actually haven't read the story. We read it like maybe 4 times. I'll have to try and refind it. Mom got us because it's hard going home for Chandler is hard a lot. She doesn't like to, and she got us this book called The Kissing Hand, and it just goes through basically where it's a is it a rabbit or a bear, something along those lines, has to like go to school and stuff, and they're gonna miss their mom and dad, and they basically kiss the palm, and it's for whenever you miss me, you kind of just like hold it up to and I'll be there. That's me being there. So we both do it to each other because our thing is that we always say she's like my heart gets sad. My heart hurts when I'm not with you. I'm like mine does too, sweetie, but it gets happy when you come back. So we kind of have this little talk at the end of our drives, and it's well, if you miss me, just remember. So she does it to me and I do it to her, and then she gives me a kiss on the lips, which that'll go away soon too as she gets older. So like the whole and then she gives me a hug and then she goes. So I thought about having her actual lips made and get it tattooed right here on my palm, like on the butt, to have something like that. My God rest his soul, my brother-in-law, he passed away. My sister's actually a widower. He passed away a couple years ago, about 2 years ago, I think. And he used to shoot kisses at my niece and nephew. So he got lips tattooed on there where it was like him shooting, and so kind of the same concept, but lipstick on a yeah, and right. So she usually kisses my left hand, so I figure I'll do it on that one. It's gonna hurt, but I figure if it's more up here, it might be a little better and also stay compared to being like on the palm. But yeah, so it was because I noticed he had it on one of his hands, kind of like right here, and I was like, so I just whatever. I was like, maybe it's just filler or my sister or something. Like it was maybe she was always like kissing his hand, and she was like, no. I think it was at his funeral. She said something about it. She was like, well, that was him shooting kisses at the boy or at the kids. And I was like, oh, yo, like it was cute. Like that's what I'm saying. That was from what I know they had their problems, but Tony was a good man. Unfortunately, Tony did not listen to his doctors. Tony was a big boy, and he unfortunately passed from health issues. And my sister was there. That's rough. But it was, I know that he will never be replaced. I think that she's tried and stuff, and even with the kids, like it was hard on the kids. But yeah, so as far as we'll get off subject, but yeah, as far as that tattoo, like I think that might be one I go and get here soon. But yeah, no, that broke my heart too. Where I was like, and I remember when my biological father and my stepmom showed up and came over to me and my other brother, and they were like, my stepmom, my father and I don't talk, so it was my stepmom was like, "How is it?" And I was like, "Oh, it's not good. She's a fucking basket case right now," and it just, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I've never had to do that. Never had to, I am getting older, but I've never had to be in a scenario, someone's spouse, like husband or wife passed. What, dude? I know somebody that is a widow, a direct family member. What? Like, that's awful. Yeah, it's it's different, but I think she copes. She copes the way she can, but and I have even before, but I have not done my brotherly duties in a long time to go see her or the kids. Arguably, I've really only seen my sister a handful of times, probably in the last 10 years. She only lives like a half hour away in Worcester. She's a hard ass. My sister, both my brother, but like my sister, dude, she's this teeny little thing. This teeny little thing. She will jack you in your shit, dude. 6'7", 280-pound man. She will right hook a motherfucker. She might get her ass beat, but she don't care. She's one of them. Full of piss and vinegar. I can't have any more children. I got fixed three Valentines ago. She's got some cool kids, Xander and Zaylen. They're pretty cool. I have some pets. I have a pit bull. My Meg has a Great Dane and a kitty cat and a hedgehog. Breathe. Lungs, work lungs, work lungs. Play the drums, play the drums, play the drums. Wow. Got me. Pull out game Catholic legend. Yeah. Yeah, this is Rainbow Slushy. Or Zushi. Rainbow Zushi, yeah. It's a hybrid. It's a live batter. Oh, that I was like, what's on my finger? Okay. Actually, speaking of custody, Lori's in here, even mom. Listen, have I ever been I shaved my head when we went to Canada. I was 17, 18, something like that. So the 50-50 custody that is basically, I'm never going to get full. I think really what I'm trying to just do is be like, okay, here's the paperwork that says she lived in this county for the school systems and stuff, and that's why she got the quote main custody. Basically, it's just where she goes to school. We get the same amount of time with each other, or that we split. I don't know that I'm really going to be, I'm not going to get full custody. Does that make sense? And I think that I've let go. I'm not saying I'm not trying to fight for anything, but I think more than anything, it's just what kind of chance do I have of having her go to this school system? Right, primary parent. Now, the thing would be is I would probably have to carry insurance, which again is fine. Meg and I would help. Like Meg would help with things if need be. I know she would. If something, you know what I mean? But I think that is really, really where I'm kind of looking for. So, well, it was the fact of that was one of the biggest reasons that she is getting quote primary parent status is the school system that she lived where the area we live, but then they moved. So that's why I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Because like I said, I'm not going to get more time. I also don't want to be greedy. Meaning, not that I wouldn't want all of the time, but I also don't want to be greedy and essentially karma bite me in the ass and then somehow end up getting less time. Regardless, unless it gets like real bad, she still deserves to be with her mom and to have time and to grow. So again, I don't want to take anything like that away from her. But with the important decisions, sure. I mean, you still have to include, so there's, I don't know. I don't really think much would change other than, like I said, some insurance and then what school she went to. That's really it. And I don't mean, I'm just saying that's really what I would be going for. And not for nothing I think she would be going to where I graduated. That is still a good school. I'm just saying in the fact of her getting the best school and education. Honestly, I am legit that parent now. I never thought I would be really that parent, but it's just that goes that goes into, so yeah, like I actually really don't mind where she'd be going to school. Whew. It's basically, I argue, almost neck and neck with Wadsworth. But what I was gonna say is that like, I think that, yeah, it would just, it's honestly more in the fact of like what I would want to do. But that would be really, like I said, really the only thing I would get though, Mom and Lori and some of the others that were kind of been here through that. But, because like I said, the more you say it out loud, it sounds like it's because proving anything, because that's what Meg and I were talking about the other night, where she's like, we basically kind of came to where like, sure, so the stuff I have on file, yeah, it's bad. They're not, that's not enough. People still get granted full custody that are full on crackheads. That seriously, or that are in like domestic violent homes and stuff. Like there's so I think I've had to swallow that pill in the fact of it's just what schools. And how that's going to go. But it sucks. When she is in school, it will likely have to change due to district guidelines. Really? It isn't. It's expensive trying to prove it. Like I said, it's just there is a point where like sometimes I do have to have a reality check, and I think trying to get some things and figuring things out on my own, where it's like this is the best I am gonna get. I can almost guarantee you my lawyer would say the same thing. Like, look, man, you're never gonna get, because like almost in the sense of neither is she. So I really have to let go of the fact of, look, man, this is just how things happen. People come from broken homes. People have a lot of times a shittier home at one place than the other. It's not always sunshines and rainbows at both places. It's like some places, unfortunately. I'm lucky enough and blessed to get 50% of my time. Well, of her time. See, as far as like a contempt, I don't know. There's verbiage and things in there that would need to be looked at loophole wise. But no, it'll never, that won't happen. I'm just going to be responsible with picking her up and taking her to school. So the thing is that it's just on my days, I just still have to take her to school. That's where the primary school is, where it is. We're like, of course it's going to be closer to you. Her school was 10 minutes away. Yeah, it's hard. But like I said, as far as like losing, that shouldn't. It's just, I can guarantee like I'm responsible for picking her up Monday afternoon from school. And unless it's one of those, I still only pick her up at 6 on Mondays and they still pick her up, but then I have to take her to school and pick her up the next day and then take her home. Oh, that doesn't happen here. Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing she's going to be able to do about that. At least not that I'm aware of. It's pretty much set in stone. Like it's 50-50. Even with that, it's just you're responsible for getting them to school. That's also why Meg and I moved well, Meg moved. That way I wasn't having to drive an hour almost and wake her up and go to school. Like, that's not fair, man. But yeah, I'll definitely have to get a consult with the lawyer here soon, because that's more of a, I can come up with a couple $100 for that. You know, I can be like, all right, I'll throw a $500 at you. Let's talk for a few hours, you know, back and forth or whatever. Unfortunately, Lori, there's really no, I saw Badger say, like, there's no age, but I think the thing is that it just comes down to, like, knowing, like, being able to tell if the kid is kind of sound mind to, like, make decisions. They really they did away with, like, an actual age. Tinder. I met Meg through Tinder. But yeah, I'll have to give it a shot here soon. Guys, what are we doing today? Because I need to. We have the house to ourselves. The kids are gone. I'm gonna probably record Sinners today, like pretty soon, on Twitch, but recording for Patreon. Now, just so that you guys know, I always say it though. I will not be reading comments like I do when I'm watching, like when I was watching anime and stuff, even though I haven't seen it. But being recorded for a Patreon, I do not pay attention to the chat. I only have up the stream to make sure things are going. 1 to 9:30, damn. Custody Corp. I'll have 4 years. But I'm gonna probably Sinners today. I know that has been something that has been, there's more than just Chandler that has stated, but that she has been almost since day one, basically, that this is your dad. And it's like, oh, no. No drop today. I actually got to work on, so I've got to get the Patreon done, and I need to get my Toasted reviews recorded, because today we're kind of going to be going out and doing stuff. So again, buffed. That's kind of why I got like a different coffee today. This is 250 calories. But, is the internet maybe wonky? No, it should be okay now. Why do I look video game almost? It seems like it's slightly, you know? Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Just put in the earbuds. But no, I think tonight, Meg and I don't know, it's not like I don't want to spend a lot of money, but like there's a place here called View. It's some pretty fancy dinners and stuff, like, and you know, some good drinks. Like, yeah, it is like, it's weird that it does that. But go get usually like a good drink or two and then come home. But like we'll go get a cocktail, but your fancy jorts, yeah. But no, we'll go there and maybe get some appetizer or something at View. Or there's a few like kind of brewery type things around as well. But we'll see what happens. So I'm actually going to message today about tomorrow where I'll probably get her kind of mid-afternoon. Just basically just let them know like I'm pretty flexible as far as like whenever they want. I get her for like 4 hours. So um I'm not saying she will, but there is a chance that she may do. Was it Easter? It kind of fell on the same concept of I was picking her up for the couple hours, but the next day was my actual pickup day. Um, and she was just like, just throwing it out there. Do you want to just keep her? Because we're supposed to. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So it just one of those like she might do that, or I might even just be like, do you want to do that? It's basically up to you. Like I don't have any plans. If I'm being real honest with you, I forgot it was Father's Day. If I wouldn't have known that, I would have never messaged her and felt like a cockbag because I'm supposed to get her. Well, I'm allowed. Like, it just. So who knows? Who knows? I might just get her tomorrow evening until Wednesday. But if not, I pick her up the next day again at 6. So at least I get to see her. Get it most of the summer. The boys kind of stay with their dad, sort of. Like half the summer. But I need to also this weekend we need to start figuring out that, like I said, those flowers. No, it's one of those where it's like you split the day or something like that. It's in the well, you can like at your discretion or whatever type thing. I think it's if they're with the other person. So like if she had her on Mother's Day, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I need her. Like it's not that type of holiday. When it comes to like Easter, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, that's where it's like we get it's like 4 or 6 hours or something like that. But yeah, my toasted reviews should be a good one. Got a few goodies. I never did find the ramen. Well, to be fair, I didn't go to the one store which I was having my oh fuck, I didn't go there. Gonna take the first ripperoni. Ripperoni, ripperoni, ripperoo. Couple of our wait. For tomorrow to hang out. Ooh. Some other things to play some Yahtzee. Good old Yahtzee. Oh my god. We need to get I need to there's also something I've been thinking about doing is, and it's not because I don't know. We do have the big house and stuff, right? And I do have some from that like group chat and stuff. I've been thinking about this summer being like, all right, hon, I'm gonna invite over probably like 10 people and just kind of hang out and yeah, do something like that where it's like we're all just gonna get some drinks. I'll provide some, but bring some of your own. We'll get some fucking Cards Against Humanity going, maybe a fire. People can hang out in the sunroom or we can hang out in the back patio. It's just like all that shit. I don't mind doing that stuff now because I have a significant other that doesn't give me anxiety in my relationship, or I guess with my friends or like the surroundings, I'm on my way. But it's like, there was somebody, family hangout, that's fine. There was just something about, I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody that was going to kind of move in for a little bit with us. Actually, they still kind of have some stuff here just in case. Like, it's one of those, I was like, I get it, man. Um, but I told them, and Meg, I was like, not only to have the space, but the environment to get them out of a situation, to not go into somebody's home and be in the same situation like Meg and I, if we were like that, is nice. It's nice to know and relieving that our household isn't a fight. Our household isn't loud and stressful. It's pretty carefree. But I think that there was just a same thing with like friends coming over, like having like a big barbecue or one of those, like, who wants to help me grill today? Like, help me man this if there's like 10, 15 people over. And if they all want to stay and crash on floors and couches and stuff, then that's on them. But, it's just like everybody's allowed to stay. Having an environment like that, number one, not only the space, but the environment. Basically a drama-free zone. It really is. We've got 4 or 5 beds that people can sleep on, as far as like even some futons and couches, and then with couches we got probably 6 or 7 places to sleep other than a floor. It's room. And people can just be. Nobody's gonna come. Not walking on eggshells. Nobody's gonna come here and purposefully destroy our shit. Accidents happen. People puke or whatever. Like, it happens. Just don't get hurt. But that's the environment that I enjoy. Like, I remember seeing that a couple of times growing up with Mom and Randy and stuff, and Uncle Doug and stuff coming over. People were a little stumbly and all this stuff and dropped stuff, and people were puking from time to time. It wasn't all the time, but they were having fun. That's what they did. They cut loose. Oh shit, see him roll the dice too. That's cool. See, right, you can do things like that. Go, Garen, please hit the toilet. Basically. Hey, Veronica, thank you. Yeah, it's one of those, like, we also, like, I'm trying to get stuff set up for, like I said, the projector, and that way we have, some like N64s and stuff like that for even just a game room. But like when people do come over, it's like, well, if you want, man, make your margarita, go downstairs, fucking hit up some Mario Kart. I don't know. It's just, that's the environment I can have. Why not? Why not? I'll sacrifice and like I said, get all this stuff and have an expensive party a couple times a year. It's fun. Why wouldn't I? Never been able to. I'm in my 40s and I finally like made it to that point. I know that sounds silly, but like, hopefully you guys understand what I mean. Like that kind of point in life. They brought Cursive back. Yes. Unfortunately, my son is part of that gap that didn't. Everybody, because when I said something about autographs, a lot of them didn't know how to write cursive. But a lot of them said, I'm trying to learn or whatever. But yes, they brought it back. Yoder, what's up? A few more minutes here, guys. But yeah, there was definitely a gap. He's part of it. but I can't wait to go see one of his shows. Yeah, with the new vocalist and stuff, and his new drum set. I need to see it. Wait, Devin's part of the. Oh yeah, him and Alex are the same age. Yeah, but he knows how to write cursive. He can draw. I'm serious. He knows how to. He can do that. He struggles reading it. Well, fuck, I struggle reading it. The fuck out of here. And people with the cool penmanship and the good old fucking... Shut the fuck up. I'm not reading none of that garbage. I can't. It looks great. And I'll watch you do it all day. I'm not reading dick. His new drum plug, and it's a game changer. Really? You can't read the Constitution. Yeah. I hate it. Like, it looks great. It looks great. He got a penmanship award. No shit. Hey, that's pretty cool. Why is it that girls have such good handwriting? Honestly, why is it that females have so good, legible handwriting? You can write anyone's hand. No shit. That's called something. Because we're obsessed with making it look pretty. You don't care. Because boys are impatient. No, we're not. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, yeah. But like every time I look, I'm like, how do you write like that? Like all girls' handwriting is weirdly different but oddly the same all the time. Does that make sense? Oh, you're fine with you're fine. Don't worry. We'll do our best to put it together. She's got horrible handwriting. Really? I was trying to be able to read other dudes writing as well, so I decided to write better. No shit. Not me writing in cursive. See, writing in cursive or even anything like that, like something along those lines with like a pen or a pencil, that's a borderline ASMR thing for me. I like to watch girls write. That's one of them. So it really just depends. English people all write crazy good in cursive. Huh. Never, I mean, I guess so. I guess I never really thought of that. Thought of that, eh? That's Canadian. Oh, you ain't got to send 500? No donos required. But what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. Oh, and get ready for the day. I'm going to be recording here soon. Hopefully, I'm going to get that going. So, that, and then, what was the other thing? So, Patreon, and then, my toasted reviews is what I wanted to do today. And then Meg and I were going to try and go out tonight, probably around 7, 8 o'clock, and go do some things. Get some foods, but appreciate y'all hanging out. We'll see what happens later, but if nothing, I will see you guys tomorrow for coffee time. So, later.